How's it going, folks? So, got a little shorter one for you. One of the things I want to do on this channel is try to make an effort to go over any topics that you guys want me to, and I asked specifically for you guys to drop me some comments below. And I went back and I had a comment, several that I'm going to do, and so occasionally I'm going to slip these topic-based episodes in, and they'll probably be shorter episodes because I'm literally going to get to the point. And this first one is finding farm jobs. Now, also filming this on my phone. I think it does a good job. It's just kind of weird holding it. It gets, for some reason, it's more tiring to hold than my GoPro, but I think it films pretty good. So, guys, tips on finding a farm job. There's a couple of ways that I would address this and look at this. Now, I would be the guy hiring at this point. I've had a couple of employees in the past, and I'll tell you some do's and don'ts. So one of the ways that I typically will do this a lot is I'll make a post on Facebook and I'll share some pictures of my operation, kind of talk about it, tell what I'm looking for. For me in particular, I'm typically looking for a big truck driver, especially around harvest time. Now, as far as when I make these posts, I'll say, send me a message on Facebook. Let me know if you're interested, if you meet the requirements. Now, obviously, I don't have a lot of requirements. If I'm looking for a big truck driver, I'll put in there, need experience, do not need a CDL. That is one thing as far as tips go. You don't have to have a CDL to drive for a farm. I know in the state of Tennessee. Now, I can't tell you elsewhere, but I know here, I mean, I own 2 trucks, a couple trailers. I don't have a CDL, and I don't have to. But that's an agriculture thing. A lot of guys say we farmers get away with everything, and that is one thing we don't have to have a CDL with, and neither do our drivers. But not that it would hurt. You know, if you had your CDL, then that does just kind of show a little extra, okay, this guy, he's already been through some of this stuff, so he's probably a reliable driver. It won't hurt you to have it. So that's one thing to think about. But I know a lot of guys are looking for guys that can drive a big truck. So the first tip I would say is, if there's any way you can get some experience and knowledge driving a semi, that would be great. That's going to help you out a lot. Because I'm going to tell you, for me, it's hard to train somebody because, again, I'm a small operation, and typically when I need you, I don't have time to also teach you. And it's hard for me to just, I mean, these trucks can weigh 80,000 pounds. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They can weigh more than 80,000 pounds. They're plated for 80,000. That's a lot of weight to be learning how to haul with. And, you know, if we have the time, then it'd be great to teach a guy. But having experience, if there's any way you can get experience driving a big truck, that'll help. One of the things don't do, if a guy puts out on Facebook that he's looking, don't go and immediately send him a message and say, what's the pay? You wouldn't believe how many guys I get. I'll make these posts, and I'm like, you know, this looking for a good driver, operator, and all this stuff. And somebody I don't know, they'll shoot me a message. They don't say, hey, man, my name's so-and-so, really interested in the job. I'd like to know some more details about it. What kind of stuff are you expecting? And I'd be curious, what are you paying? That's a great way to shoot a message. But you know what you don't do? I've had several guys that I get a message, and I go and I look at it, and it just says, what's the pay? That's all they say. That's literally the whole message. And look, I get it. It's farming. A lot of guys are like, man, you know, you ain't got to have a college degree, yada, yada, yada. I take this seriously. You know, this is my business, and most farmers are the same way. This is our business. This is our livelihood. I mean, hell, it's our life for the most part. So we take this seriously. I look at this as important as any other job offer or opportunity that somebody would go for. Be professional. That is my biggest thing. Reach out to these guys, be very respectful, be very professional. Now, if you don't have experience, then here's what I would recommend. And you got to want it if this is the case, because it's going to require time that you're never going to get back, basically. Go to these farms, find a farmer that's doing what you want to be doing or you want to work with, and just ask if you can help out a little bit. Just say, man, I just want to learn. Tell them you want to learn how to do some things. Shadow that guy. Go and hang around and just kind of learn that way. You're not really asking for anything. And that just shows a desire to learn. And that's very important. And I do feel like, you do that. Most guys, good guys, that is, that have an operation, if they see that and you're picking up things, you're doing well, I feel like they'll probably start to be like, okay, this guy, he's serious, he'll work hard, he's interested, we can get a position for him on the farm. Now, another thing I'll add is don't go into this expecting $25 an hour. But don't do this, like, if you have some experience, you want to get on the farm, don't do it for $8 an hour, because things have changed. I will say, years ago, when you hired a guy on the farm, the pay was $8 to $10 an hour. And if you hire a guy today for $8 to $10 an hour, you're going to have a crackhead working for you. And I'm just being totally honest with you. And the thing with farming that's really different than other jobs, that guy that I hire, he's going to be around me and he's going to be around my family. My family is around on the farm. Our operation is here near, like right here where we live, and my kids will be around. My wife will be around. And I'm going to be honest, I think that the farm job's probably a pretty stiff one to get, because I'm looking at a lot of stuff. I'm looking at, okay, what experience they have, but I'm also looking at, all right, what is their character? Is this somebody that I feel good about them being around my family, my kids? Am I going to be comfortable with them being around? And I am going to be hanging out with you a bunch. We're going to be together a lot. So those are all things that I want you to think about when you're looking for farm jobs. It's not all about driving a tractor. That's definitely, obviously, very important. If you can drive equipment, that is awesome. But I can handle a guy that's got a great work ethic, a good character, he's trustworthy, he's honest, that needs to kind of learn how to drive a tractor. I can teach a guy how to drive a tractor. The big truck is a little different because you're going down the freaking highway. I don't want you to run over and kill somebody. But in the tractors, we're in the field, I can get you pretty comfortable in that pretty fast. So, guys, be certain of your character. And that's one thing I really would encourage you. If I go, I'll look. If somebody reaches out and says, man, I'd like to come work for you, I go to their Facebook page or their social media, and I'll look. And if I pull up their page and all I see is a bunch of pictures of them getting drunk and acting crazy and all that, look, I enjoy a drink. It's no secret. I love bourbon. I drink bourbon in quite a few of my videos. But I drink responsibly. And I'm not getting drunk. I'm not putting pictures up being a drunk gooberhead. And what you do in your own time, whatever. But if I go on your page and I see a lot of drunken idiocy on there, I'm going to question whether or not I want you working for my operation, because at the end of the day, whatever operator you're working for, you represent their operation. You represent their name, their farm name. And working for a farm, I think, is a cool thing. There is a ton of stuff you can learn, but I would say big tips is just find these farms and try to just see if you can go help out. Not really have a lot of expectations going into it. Help them out. Or, I would approach them and be like, look, are you hiring? And if they say, no, we're not currently hiring, I'd say, well, can I just come kind of shadow, see how y'all do things a couple days a week? Don't quit your day job. Try to find time to shadow. I'm a believer in moonlighting. And if it's something you really want to do, carving a few hours out of a couple of days to go and kind of learn the ropes on farming is not going to be a big deal to you, because it's what you want to be doing anyways. So that's probably the biggest things that I could advise you for on tips on how to get a farm job. And it's mainly just driving around and talking to these farmers. There's not a good website, I feel like, where farmers post their jobs besides Facebook. That'd be another thing. Social media, we live in a very digital age. Don't be afraid to figure out who some of the local farmers are in your area. Add them on Facebook, send them a message on Facebook, and be professional in your messages. I mean, I don't want to blast anybody, so I'm not going to, but some of the extremely unprofessional messages that I've gotten just blow me away. And also, again, I take this seriously. We've had guys that I'd be like, all right, come on in. We'd love to meet with you and talk with you and see if we can make this work. Be here at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. 8 o'clock on Monday morning rolls around. They aren't there. And I'm like, okay. And I shoot them a message. Hey, man, where you at? Oh, man. And then they message me back. Sorry, man, I had something come up. Wasn't able to get by there today. Can we do this again the next day or so-and-so? And a lot of times there I'm like, you know, I know. I don't think that we can, because you didn't even give me the courtesy of telling me you wouldn't make it. Had I not have reached out to you, would I have even heard from you? So I look at this as seriously as it, because it is serious to me. It is my business. It is my livelihood. So just remember that, guys. Farmers, I feel like we're pretty chill guys, and our job is very different from a lot, but at the end of the day, we take this seriously because it is serious to us. So that is some of my tips for getting on the farm. The best is going to be just getting some experience, and that may require doing some stuff for free. But again, if somebody's listening, they're like, well, I ain't doing that for free, then it's not something you're particularly that interested in doing anyways. What would you do if money were not an issue? If you didn't have to worry about funds, what is it that you would do? And if farming is one of those things that you would do, then start out doing it without worrying about money, and I feel like the money will come. Now, don't let that become something where they take advantage of you. I guess my other piece of advice to end this video is there are some serious dirtbags in farming. Unfortunately, not all farmers are good guys. Farming is just like every industry. There's bad apples in the bunch, and we got plenty of dirtbags in farming that people might even think are great men of integrity, but they're dirtbags. So they watch out for them. And it may be something you don't pick up on at first, and then you realize, like, this guy's not that good of a guy. Just get out of there. Get out of there, find another farmer. There are lots of good farmers around. I'm talking about good in character form. But those are the ones you want to be with, not the guys that are going to take advantage of you. But at the end of the day, you get some experience. Then when those opportunities come up, you can say, hey man, I can drive a tractor. I can run a bulldozer, I can drive a big truck, and you'll be a very valuable asset to the farm. And I would like to say, you know, what kind of money could you expect in this day and age? I mean, a guy that's willing to work, can drive a tractor, maybe not a big truck, you know, we would start him off. I mean, you could be talking, you know, $18 an hour. You get up to where you can drive a big truck and all that, you know, in the 20s is pretty reasonable. If you can run a tractor, drive a big truck, you're reliable, honest, all these things, you know, $25 an hour is not a stretch. And just the longer you stick with them and do these things, I mean, the pay will just increase. They'll take care of you. I hope this video has helped you guys out, hopefully giving you some guidance and tips on that. Please ask you hit that like button, hit subscribe to the channel, and comment below any topics that you want me to address, any of them. I'm open to any questions on how-tos, guidance, reviews on anything, you know. I'm open to all of it. I'm always looking for good content. So please leave me a comment below, and we'll catch you next time.